organisations in our community that do such incredible work, organisations that we don't always hear a lot about. But today we're joined by Kate Austin. She's the CEO of an organisation called Pinch a Poo. Pinch a Poo, which is fun to say and even more fun, I'm sure, to be the CEO of, has been together now for 11 years and been doing some really interesting work in schools, I think, for the last 4. Kate, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Very lovely to speak to you. I haven't given anything away about Pinch a Poo.
You haven't. Normally that happens. You've done well.
I know. I'm just being very, unveiling it as we go. Give us your, what does Pinch a Poo do?
Well, Pinch a Poo, to put everyone out of their misery, we can make them guess for the whole time, but Pinch a Poo is short for Pinch, or stands for Pinch a Shampoo. And the idea came from getting people to pinch their hotel toiletries. So it's short for Pinch a Shampoo. The toiletries are included in the cost of your accommodation, and then we get all these magnificent bottles of goodies and are able to do some pretty magnificent things for people who don't have access to personal hygiene products.
It's something we certainly do not spend enough time thinking about, but personal hygiene products, and for people that have found themselves in vulnerable situations, is probably one of the most crucial and one of probably the first to go.
Oh, absolutely. The first thing to go, yeah. We hear a lot about food and, those sorts of things. But, if you have $50 left to feed your family for the week, the obvious choice is that you're going to fill bellies and not, purchase the sanitary items or the deodorants or, those things that are actually the enabler for us to, connect with the outside world. So certainly the first thing to go, and there are a hell of a lot more people, fitting into that banner with the COVID crisis, which is terrifying.
So have you, Kate, seen an absolute upswing in the requirement for your service to be providing these sorts of goods to people who are in a vulnerable situation?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're under the pump all the time. People say, oh, you're busy at the moment. The answer is always the same. But, I think we were sort of bracing ourselves for what was going to fall out of this with, so many job losses and so many more people now fitting under that disadvantaged banner, whether that's, short-term or it's going to be a longer-term issue for them. But, yeah, certainly the first thing to go are those things that make us feel, the way that we need to feel, and that's different for all of us.
And so, as I mentioned, Pinch a Poo's been operating for 11 years. Did you start it, Kate?
Yes, I did 11 years ago, and not-for-profit years, if you don't know, Jacinta, are like dog years. So I think that makes us about 770 or something.
No, I absolutely tip my hat, because to keep organisations like this going, it's not only the hard work that's required to actually get the shampoos and the toiletries that are required to distribute, it's also the hard work to ensure that you have financial support.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. And it's a struggle for any charity, but I think we've been so unbelievably blessed over 11 years to have people who have really invested in us long term and enabled us to be able to do the work that we do, and with very little overheads and, 1 employee and over 2,000 volunteers. We keep things pretty, neat and tidy, and to make sure that whatever we're getting really is going back into the community. And with over 6 million products redistributed now, we're pretty proud of what we've been able to achieve.
2,000 volunteers. It is National Volunteer Week, and wow, it is incredible, isn't it, the amount of work that volunteers do in this country?
Oh, God, and what would we do without them? I can tell you we wouldn't be doing what we've done. Our volunteers are a very connected bunch of people, and all of a sudden we're told, that we can't congregate at what we call Poo HQ, which is our wonderful warehouse where we have lots of poo puns, don't worry about that. And all of a sudden these people can't be at that place where they feel like they belong, and our team have so quickly taken on operations, from their own living rooms to keep us going. And it's very timely that you're speaking about Volunteer Week, because, it brings me into thinking about it. We would just be absolutely lost. I think any organisation would, but I know, what our team have done to make sure we stay afloat during this time really is phenomenal.
Well, while we've got you, Kate, I know our listeners here, especially to the afternoon program, if I could be so bold, always want to know what they can do when they hear about organisations such as Pinch a Poo.
Yes.
What sort of help can be given? Obviously, it began as people taking some of the shampoos out of hotels. Obviously, people aren't visiting them right now. What are some of the other ways that we can be of help to what you're doing?
Absolutely. I think the first one, I mean, any charity will tell you that they need financial donations, but as you say, people are not travelling at the moment, and that's the guts of what we do, is people pinching the hotel toiletries. So we're faced with a situation where we don't have the amount of products we need to meet the demand. So, we have some amazing wholesale connections where we can actually purchase product for ridiculous prices and continue to meet that demand. So, financial donations are amazing, but even just jumping on board, Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be, and following the journey, because there's always so many different ways to get involved. And I think something for people to do, just as an exercise, is just to stop for a second and put yourself in the position of someone who can't brush their teeth in the morning, or, has got to bear the burden of body odour because deodorant just isn't on the shopping list. So it's something that we don't think about often. It's certainly my past. I left home in a situation of pretty nasty physical and emotional abuse as a teenager, and that's where this came from. I was left without those items and not able to connect with the community in a way that I'd previously done. So, sometimes it's nice to just stop and think about other people in those situations, and and what would you need? What's your thing that enables you to be confident and front the world the way that you do? So, good little mind exercise while we're all stuck indoors.
Oh, absolutely, Kate. And it's people like you that not only see a problem and understand it deeply and have compassion for it, but find pathways and ways that we can all participate in helping solving it. It's not that hard, as you say. It's these small things, but they make an enormous difference to somebody's life.
Unbelievably. Yeah, and we're not, people have often said to me on the journey, you can't change the world with a bottle of shampoo, but what you don't realise is you actually can change someone's world with a bottle of shampoo or a toothbrush or whatever it might be, even if it's just for a second, to be able to feel human again. So, don't underestimate the little acts of kindness, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Pinch a Poo is what you need to jump onto in terms of a website. If people wanted accuracy in terms of that website, Kate, what would they type in?
Just pinchapoo.org.au.
Pinchapoo.org.au. There you'll find ways that you can support, offer financial donations, or just have a look in and see what Pinch a Poo are doing, and maybe find ways you can think about volunteering even. It is National Volunteer Week. Kate Austin, thank you and congratulations on the work you do, and we really appreciate your time sharing exactly what Pinch a Poo, if we can just keep saying Pinch a Poo.
I think you're enjoying it.
I am. I enjoy Poo HQ today as well. Thanks, Kate.
No worries. Thanks, Jacinta.
Kate Austin there, joining us, CEO of Pinch a Poo, distributing toiletries to school students as well in the time of COVID. We didn't even get onto that. They've been operating for 11 years. For 4 years, they've been able to work in with schools as well. Such important work ensuring that kids have got access to the toiletries and to the sanitary items that they need. It is National Volunteer Week. Soon we'll be speaking with Tim Burr.